Tonight, no chance of survival. 2 dead in a horror crash in Clayton. 9 now killed in 48 hours of mayhem. Turn off the taps. Victoria set for tough water restrictions. A Good Samaritan attacked after stopping to help at a Cranbourne collision. A baby formula warning, a Victorian family's nightmare ordeal. TV star love scam. A Dr. Chris imposter fleeces a fan of thousands. The little lollies promising big benefits. Do gummies really work? And an embattled Bulldogs fight to save his football career.
Live from Melbourne, this is 7 News with Peter Mitchell.
Good evening. 9 lives have been lost in a nightmare 48 hours on Victoria's roads, leaving our top traffic cop fuming. The tragic toll stretches across the state, including 2 drivers killed in a shocking head-on crash at Clayton South.
Out of control and careening down Westall Road, a white hatchback mounts a median strip and slams into an oncoming vehicle. The impact so severe, both drivers were killed instantly.
It was like a bomb drop.
A 46-year-old male driver of the SUV never made it to work this morning.
I didn't hear any brakes screeching, so that's when I realised, okay, this is like a really full high-speed collision.
It's understood the 52-year-old Scoresby woman may have suffered a medical episode.
You're in charge of a lethal piece of machinery that can turn tragically wrong in a blink of an eye.
And just hours later, another double fatality. 2 elderly people killed in Eganstown near Dalesford after a head-on collision. The driver of the other vehicle airlifted to hospital.
We can't explain why suddenly this weekend has gone so bad. There's no weather conditions that can contribute to it.
Last night in the Gippsland town of Trafalgar, a Mother's Day tragedy for a Dandenong North family. Their car collided with another vehicle plunging down an embankment. The 49-year-old woman couldn't be saved.
It's just an absolute tragedy that we've got the loss of a life, a wife, a mother on Mother's Day. Is killed in a crash that just should never, ever have occurred.
Her husband and their 2 teenagers seriously hurt. It's been 48 hours of devastation across the state. A 53-year-old motorbike rider killed near Hamilton, his passenger fighting for life. A 43-year-old man died near Ballarat, and this morning a 26-year-old found dead in Swan Hill West.
There's just really no excuse for what's happened in Victoria over the last 2.5 days.
And Geordie Wright is at the Royal Melbourne Hospital where the road toll has just risen. Geordie.
Mitch, a Kinglake man has just died after he was struck earlier today. The 66-year-old was critically injured after he was hit by an SUV in West Footscray. The driver said a man did stop at the scene and is assisting police tonight. There are several other people in hospital who were hurt in this series of fatal crashes, 3 of them here in intensive care. And Mitch, there are concerns the terrible toll could rise again.
Geordie Wright at Parkville, thank you. And we have more breaking news coming in from Melbourne's northwest, where shoppers have been caught up in a frightening police takedown. Officers raced to Water Gardens shopping centre after reports 3 boys were running around with knives. A 16-year-old was arrested at the scene. 2 other teens were caught at a nearby train station. A 15-year-old is in hospital with non-life-threatening stab wounds. A Hampton Park man has been cornered on a roof in Berwick after a high-speed chase through the southeastern suburbs. Police rushed residents out of their homes before setting their sights on the culprit.
I heard banging on the roof and I thought if he might fall through then that would be it. I'd be out, and we were inside for quite a lot of the time and we've been moved out now in case he wants to jump down in our garden.
The 29-year-old eventually surrendered. He and another Hampton Park man are in custody. 7 News can reveal Melbourne will rely on desalinated water for the first time in 3 years to keep the taps running. It's hoped it'll stave off tough water restrictions like those imposed in the southwest of the state.
Victoria's Indian summer has put tourist hotspot Apollo Bay on water watch.
The last 12 months in Apollo Bay have been the driest in 86 years.
Stage 3 restrictions came into force over the weekend.
You can't water your lawns or hose down hard surfaces. You can water your garden on alternative days, and you can spot clean your car to make sure it remains safe.
I hope that we can get lots of rain this winter so we don't have to stop using everything.
Back in the city, the Water Minister has made the decision to activate the state's desalination plant, with a water top-up scheduled for July, the first in 3 years.
The simple and really difficult reality is right now is we haven't had rain. We haven't had enough rain to replenish the dams, to fill the tanks, to put water through the channels. That's why Minister Spencer's working very hard on what further support can be provided.
But the top-up won't help Apollo Bay and its surrounds, and it could be too little too late for Victorian farmers struggling to stay afloat.
Water shortages are having a massive impact on those people who have livestock, and some of them are making some incredibly tough decisions.
The drought has put all livestock under threat and grocery prices under pressure. This time last year, the basin here in Apollo Bay was lapping the edges at 96% capacity, and today, as you can see, it's a lot lower, sitting at 25%. Local businesses also feeling the pinch.
We use it less now. I never wash like I did before outside.
We are potentially in a bit of trouble.
Tyra Stowers, 7 News.
Embattled footy star Jamara Ugle-Hagan is seeking expert medical help to save his career. Chief football reporter Mitch Cleary has tonight's developments, and Mitch, he's checked in to a health retreat.
Well, Peter, this medical plan was initiated last week, and those close to the situation tonight say Ugle-Hagan is in the best hands possible. Now, this comes a fortnight after the star forward officially took indefinite leave from the Western Bulldogs. In recent months, he's been training on and off at the club, but this is seen as a positive step and a circuit breaker, given the 23-year-old is opening himself up to external help. The AFL also heavily involved in his next steps to returning to professional football. Ugle-Hagan hasn't played a match this year, and it's seen as highly unlikely he will feature at all in 2025. And given his relationships at the Western Bulldogs remain strained, it remains firmly on the cards that he'll seek a trade to a new club for next year. Peter?
Mitch Cleary at Docklands, thank you. A Good Samaritan has become the victim of an attempted carjacking after stopping to help fellow drivers involved in a crash. The collision happened at a busy intersection in Cranbourne West, with witnesses telling 7 News it's a miracle no one was killed.
This is the aftermath of a high-speed crash after a stolen car ran a red light and ploughed into an unsuspecting driver. A Good Samaritan behind the wheel of this Tesla stopped to help, but quickly became the target of an attempted carjacking.
I went to lock my doors, and I don't usually automatically think to do that. And as the light went green and I could see the person pull the other person out of the car, the owner of the car was screaming. That person obviously just pulled over possibly to help or was part of it, and they ended up getting hurt, which is not Australian.
Mother of two Sarah Lambie witnessed the violence and sprung into action after the man was thrown to the ground.
I was beeping my horn because I could see something was not right. I didn't know if you had a knife.
4 occupants in the Honda were taken to hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. The Tesla driver was thankfully not injured either and was able to get back into his car and drive to safety. The driver of the stolen Toyota was last seen running away from the crash north towards Banyan Drive. Witnesses say he had at least 2 others with him and a possible getaway car in waiting. Cassie Zervos, 7 News.
The mushroom murder trial resumes in Morwell tomorrow, with accused triple murderer Erin Patterson set to front a Supreme Court jury as she maintains her innocence. The high-profile trial will enter its 3rd week, with the court to hear from more witnesses. The trial was originally set down for 6 weeks, but is now expected to wrap up sooner. The Prime Minister has revealed a major overhaul of his cabinet in the wake of Labor's crushing election win. Several Victorians have scored big, while the Liberals are preparing to vote on a new leader tomorrow.
Tanya Plibersek, reflective, emotional this morning.
Every day that I'm there, I consider just the most enormous privilege.
And this afternoon, she's no longer Environment Minister, shifted to Social Services.
I've got people who are, I think, in the best positions.
The new Minister for the Environment, Senator Murray Watt.
I regard it as very much a senior role in a Labor government. Murray will do it very well.
In the Cabinet, Chris Bowen retaining energy. Michelle Rowland becomes Attorney-General. Health Minister Mark Butler adds the NDIS. Annika Wells, Communications Minister. Amanda Rishworth, Employment and Workplace Relations. Anne Ali comes in as Small Business and Multicultural Affairs. And Senator Tim Ayres enters Cabinet in Industry. The former Minister Ed Husic and former Attorney-General Mark Dreyfus, both punted by the faction. Did you fight for either Mark Dreyfus or Ed Husic to stay in the ministry? Apparently not.
We have a process in the Labor Party caucus. You've been watching it for some time.
Mr Husic blames Deputy Prime Minister Richard Marles. And after this swipe yesterday...
I think when people look at a Deputy Prime Minister, they expect to see a statesman, not a factional assassin.
Today, a phone call.
I had a constructive discussion with Ed this morning.
And David Littleproud has survived the challenge to remain leader of the Nationals, easily defeating Queensland Senator Matt Canavan in a ballot. Sticking with nuclear energy for now.
There'll be some big questions that we'll have to move forward on, but we'll do that in a calm, methodical way.
The Liberals will vote on a new opposition leader tomorrow. The contest between Susan Lee and Angus Taylor, tight. Mark Riley, 7 News.
And 7 News projects independent Monique Ryan has retained the seat of Kooyong. With more than 90% of the vote now counted, Dr Ryan is 886 votes ahead of Liberal candidate Amelia Hamer. Dr Ryan says Ms Hamer has called her to concede. Kooyong was one of the hardest fought seats in the nation. An Australian man has been killed in Ukraine while clearing landmines. National Security Editor Tim Lester is outside the Foreign Affairs Department in Canberra. And Tim, what do we know about him?
Well, Mitch, we know his name was Nick Parsons, a 28-year-old Australian Army-trained soldier-turned-bomb disposal expert, was working for a US-based charity called Prevail Together, which clears unexploded ordnance in Ukraine. They were working, 3 of them apparently, near the city of Izium in the east of Ukraine, when an unexpected explosion killed Parsons and his British-born colleague and injured a third man. This was 5 days ago, confirmed at least some of the details by the Prime Minister today.
I can confirm, though, he wasn't a participant in the conflict. He was volunteering with a humanitarian organisation. And so I do want to remind Australians that Ukraine is a do-not-travel zone. The situation is extremely dangerous.
He's a hero for Ukrainians. You know, he's a hero because he didn't have to do it.
The Ukrainian ambassador makes the point that 1/4 of Ukraine is afflicted with unexploded ordnance, so the work Parsons was doing was absolutely critical. And the Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade here in Canberra says it is providing consular assistance to the family. Mitch.
Tim Lester in Canberra, thank you. 2 news just in, and the US and China have struck a deal slashing the tariffs both countries imposed on each other. Donald Trump had slapped Beijing with 145% levies on imports into America, with warnings of shortages on shelves within weeks.
It's important to understand how quickly we were able to come to agreement, which reflects that perhaps the differences were not so large as maybe thought.
Both countries have now agreed to reduce tariffs to as low as 10% for 90 days. It follows a weekend of high-level talks in Switzerland. The Allen government will splash an extra $700 million to slash waiting times along several key rail lines linked to the Metro Tunnel. The Premier denies it's another cost blowout ahead of next week's dreaded state budget.
flanked by MPs from across the western suburbs for the first glimpse into the state budget. The Premier refused to be derailed.
You can see how busy Sunshine Station is.
A public transport splurge for the long-awaited Metro Tunnel, a project that's already blown out to $15 billion.
The second biggest announcement in their public transport budget this year is to turn on a piece of infrastructure that they built and they own. Well, what the hell does it mean?
There's a $5 billion public transport cash splash allocated in the May 20 budget, but in a sign of the state's dire finances, only $825 million is new money. The biggest taxpayer splurge, $727 million to switch on and operate the Metro Tunnel.
We could have built 2 brand new hospitals.
It follows fresh claims the Allen government secretly ripped billions of dollars from state schools in last year's budget.
Confirmation of the cuts will only increase pressure on the new Treasurer ahead of her first state budget in just over a week's time. Her predecessor leaving her with debt soaring to $187 billion.
To make a claim that there's been anything other than an increase in funding for government schools is just wrong.
Well, we know the upcoming budget is going to be catastrophic. And how do we know that? Because Labor insiders themselves are calling it that.
Rochelle Brown, 7 News.
Prime Minister Albanese has announced he'll attend Pope Leo's inauguration at the Vatican in just under a week. The new pontiff has given his first Sunday blessing, taking the opportunity to demand world leaders bring an end to war for good.
Pope Leo back on the balcony where he was announced to the world for his first delivery of a church tradition, the Sunday blessing.
Buona Domenica!
Happy Sunday, he said, and happy Mother's Day, before he listed some of the places where it was neither.
Di Gaza.
Impassioned pleas for the global hotspots, Gaza, Ukraine.
Tra India e Pakistan.
Before he dramatically declared,
Mai più la guerra.
No more war. 100,000 came to see him today, Australians among them.
I was in Italy and I just cancelled everything and stayed on for all this.
They're really celebrating this new Pope, which I think is really lovely.
Perhaps one group more excited than any other, the Americans.
As an American, it's crazy in the best way, and especially when we got the sign of the cross, full body chills.
Energised by the new leader of the world's 1.4 billion Catholics, at times it felt like they were all here.
One outcome of the election of an American as Pope will be that it will not only supercharge the tourist pilgrim economy, but it might help dig the Vatican out of one of its most confronting issues, financial chaos.
Despite its enormous wealth, Vatican finances have been crippled by mismanagement and corruption.
This Pope is going to reinvigorate the American Catholic Church,
bringing wealthy US tourists and donors back to the church. At the Vatican, Chris Reason, 7 News.
Rebecca Maddern's here now with a look ahead to sport, and Beck, some big names are expected back for the Pies.
Yes, hello to you, Peter. There's a few handy inclusions, but one star was nowhere to be seen today. The skipper was there, but there's growing concern on his fitness ahead of their clash with the Crows. Also ahead, injury relief for the resurgent Blues. Max Gawn's hidden message that could lead to a trade bombshell. And of course, Kane Cornes joins us in extra time with a big opinion on the next destination club, all coming up.
Really?
Yeah.
OK, thank you very much indeed, Beck. Police in Collingwood have found themselves on the wrong side of the law. We'll have exclusive details next. Also ahead, singing superstar Tina Arena caught up in concert chaos at her Melbourne show. Bindi Irwin rushed to hospital after a medical emergency. From Kylie's hot pants to Peter Allen's maracas, we'll take you inside a mega new exhibition at the Arts Centre. And later, a major baby formula brand under fire. Everything Melbourne parents need to know.
Farmers, you're here to fall in love. We just want to give you the very best chance.
We get butterflies. Get lost in our eyes and a smile.
Do you think you're still open to new connections?
Absolutely. Oh, no. And I'm just bracing for the worst.
4 ladies! 4! It's very intimidating. I wish that they weren't here.
New Farmer Wants a Wife, tonight, 7:30.
Go Harvey Norman. Buy now with no deposit 60 months interest free on a participating Latitude credit card and get a bonus gift card up to $1,000. Shop our huge range now with no deposit 60 months interest free from Latitude and get a bonus $100 gift card for every $1,000 you spend. New customers must be approved. Minimum finance $1,000. T's and C's, charges and exclusions apply. Equal monthly payment plan and monthly credit card fee currently $10.95 applies. Don't miss no deposit 60 months interest free from Latitude at Harvey Norman now.
With Aware Super's retirement income account, you can stop working and keep earning. Tax-free. With super advice and super returns, Aware Super helps you find your rhythm of retirement. That's super helpful.
Plate for everyone. Find yours at vplates.com.au.
However you warm up, NG has got a hot energy deal for you. Get 20% off our gas supply and usage charges when you switch your gas to NG Saver. Great value and staying cosy. With NG, it's possible.
You know what? I've got something I want to tell you. You're gonna be a grandma.
Sometimes the moments that never happen matter the most. Meet the new Volvo EX90, designed to be the safest Volvo car ever made. Volvo.
A man has been tasered and pepper sprayed after breaking into the Collingwood police station just after midnight. He's accused of tampering with a patrol car before smashing a window to gain entry to the station. Security at the station is now under review. Tina Arena has been caught up in a wild concert confrontation at Melbourne's Palais Theatre. The pop star was forced to step in when audience members lost control.
A concert cut short as a brawl breaks out.
What are you? What's the
Tina Arena putting a stop to her show at Melbourne's Palais Theatre to address a group of rowdy fans.
Ladies and gentlemen, if we could please just have some calm in this hall, I would really, really appreciate it. Okay?
There's plenty of gigs where you would expect something like that to happen, but not one of Tina's shows.
Witnesses say a man and woman were heard hurling abuse at each other at a break between hits.
I thought it was going to be a full-on punch-up, but there wasn't. It took them a while to move them out from where they were sitting.
The ARIA award-winning singer left with no choice but to address the altercation.
If there's something that needs to be discussed, would we please be able to do it outside? Please stay calm, everyone.
Tina popped up and said, look, please, have some respect for yourself and decorum. You are disrupting my concert. Can you please kindly leave? And we all shouted, yes, go Tina, go.
Tina Arena says she hasn't got anything else to add about what happened on Friday night. And that's because her fans, who were here in the audience, have set the record straight on her behalf.
An extra entertainment on the side that we didn't need.
The Stars' sold-out tour will head to Brisbane next week. Estelle Greeping, 7 News.
Bindi Irwin has been rushed to hospital in the US after her appendix ruptured. The wildlife warrior was in Las Vegas for the annual Steve Irwin Gala when she began feeling intense pain.
She was ready to come onto this stage, but her appendix had other ideas in mind.
Bindi has since had surgery to remove it. Kylie Minogue's famous gold hot pants are coming out of retirement as part of a new costume and prop museum along the Yarra. The outfit is part of the Arts Centre's enormous archival collection, including items not seen for 50 years.
Hidden below Hamer Hall is a vault filled with more than 850,000 costumes and props, most kept secret since it was established in 1975. Come December, they'll get their moment back in the spotlight as part of a new performing arts museum.
We are going to do 2 exhibitions a year that will tell the story, our very own unique story of the Australian performing arts history.
The collection boasts Aussie icons like Kylie Minogue's gold hot pants, AC/DC lead Bon Scott's leather jacket, Aussie Ostrich from Hey Hey It's Saturday, Dame Edna's Scream dress, Hugh Jackman's glittery ensemble from The Boy from Oz, and Peter Allen's maracas from 1977.
They're like a time machine. They take you back to the moment, to the song, to the decade.
They're priceless, but if you were to put a figure on it, the Arts Centre says it's around $80 million.
This is a big piece of cultural heritage. We keep them because we want to be inspired.
The museum here will become the gateway to the $1.7 billion arts precinct transformation. That project is due to be finished by 2028 and will include more galleries, dining options and spaces for outdoor performances.
$1.5 billion of that is funded by the state government, the rest by generous donors.
This is a game changer for this sector.
Beth Yeoman, 7 News.
Very exciting. Jane Bunn joins us now, and Jane, we had a sunny start to the week.
Mitch, a sunny day in a sunny stretch that began late last week. The city began on 9, a touch warmer than previous nights. Then we reached 20 in a light southerly. It was just 1 at Coldstream at first, while Mount Dandenong was a balmy 12. Away from the bay, we rose into the low 20s this afternoon. Our stable weather is thanks to a large ridge of high pressure, but there is a change on the horizon. I'll have full details after sport, Mitch.
OK, thanks very much, Jane. We'll see you then. The Bondi vet has been caught up in a cruel love scam that's robbed a British woman of her life savings. Cybersecurity experts have their say next. Also ahead on 7 News, the revolutionary IVF technique helping future families. A fire, then a fright as an oil rig goes up in flames. And the supermarket giant that's promising a 10% price cut.
This is where Australia's most treasured trophy has been stolen.
Police are rounding up the suspects right now.
Early reports say it was you, allegedly.
It wasn't me. It must have been you, allegedly.
In breaking news, I'm stepping into the ballroom.
Well, it takes 2 to tango.
Allegedly.
Michael Usher and Karina Carvalho from 7 News will face the music on New Dancing with the Stars this June on 7.
I'm snapping nice saying cheese. Shorty get inspired. How about that? How about that? This time, shorty get.
When the lucky country isn't so lucky, it's lucky you're with Amy.
Lucky you're with Amy.
Latrobe Financial connects you with a world of unique investment opportunities. Invest with Latrobe Financial, Australia's premier global asset manager.
Get what you really want with Ford's Drive Away deals, like the Ranger Wild Track from 70k Drive Away. Only at your Ford dealer while stocks last.
What are you risking online? Don't leave yourself exposed. Use a unique and strong passphrase on every account. Learn simple steps to protect yourself at actnowstaysecure.gov.au. Authorised by the Australian Government, Canberra.
HCF Life Insurance gives members up to $1.5 million cover to help protect their family. And now, Kate gets this ad to share a family update.
We didn't think we were going to be able to have another child, but we're pregnant!
Gary, what the...
It's tax time at Officeworks, so claim everything you can, from stationery to tech and anything in between. Everything could be tax deductible. Shop before June 30.
The Musso run-out sale is on now. Save up to $4K on an MY24 Musso. From only $38K, get the 2025 Drive Car of the Year, best dual cab ute under $50K. KGM Ssangyong, Korean built to last.
TPG's high-speed NBN is only $64.99 a month, which means...
You're a winner!
What did he say?
He said you're a winner.
Guaranteed lowest price NBN, TPG.
Australian doctors are trialling a new IVF technique that involves growing eggs using stem cells outside a woman's body. The US-developed procedure was used successfully for the first time in Peru last December.
There have been very reassuring data to suggest that it's safe and it's got no increased risks compared to traditional IVF methods.
The procedure is designed to reduce the physical burden on prospective mothers. For 2.5 years, a British woman believed she was in a romantic relationship with Bondi vet Dr. Chris Brown. But instead, the pensioner had fallen victim to scammers who used AI to defraud her of almost $23,000.
From Staffordshire, England, Lucy Knock couldn't believe it when she got a message on social media from the Bondi vet.
Can you tell us what happened?
But behind the handsome features she knew from TV was something sinister.
I don't think I could trust a man again, to be honest with you.
Preying on her love of animals was a scammer posing as Dr. Chris Brown. On WhatsApp, they used AI messages and videos for the con, promising to visit her in the UK, but they needed her cash. She sent $400 a month from her pension checks for 2.5 years.
It will come to a point where the scammer believes that now is the right time to strike.
The fake romance cost her almost $23,000, everything she had.
Sleepless nights, having nightmares, lots of questions going around in my head.
Suspicions kicked in when she was told Chris Brown had been kidnapped and needed a $40 million ransom.
I'm thinking, why hasn't the management took out a police report?
It was Lucy who finally alerted police, but the con is still on the run. Cyber experts say authorities are often hesitant to chase internet scammers, putting them in the too hard basket.
They're just pushing back, saying this is an international scam, it's out of our jurisdiction, which is rubbish.
Tom Saker, 7 News.
Frightening video has emerged of an oil rig inferno in northern Russia. Local media is reporting 2 oil and gas wells caught fire, producing tall flames and columns of smoke. The blaze quickly spread to one of the towers on site, causing it to collapse. At least 3 workers were seriously injured. Woolworths is promising relief at the checkout, dropping prices on hundreds of everyday items until at least next year. The move could save customers nearly $800 a year and spark price competition between the supermarkets.
These days, a quick supermarket shop is busting budgets.
Veggies, a tiny little bit of meat, bread. It's like $65 altogether.
There's nothing much you can do about it.
But the battle for your basket is back on, and Woolworths is making the first move. From Wednesday, nearly 400 products will drop in price by an average of 10%. Chicken schnitzels, Greek yoghurt, oats, Coke, bacon, bread, noodles, nappies, all becoming slightly cheaper, saving families who spend $150 about $15.
These prices will not change until next year.
The boss borrowing from Bunnings, declaring this price drop is just the beginning.
And we're committed to adding hundreds of more as the year progresses.
I don't think it's going to spark a price war. These aren't significant discounts.
But others have been quick to respond. IGA is promising to price match. Aldi says it won't be beaten on cost, while Coles is always trying to one-up Woolies.
Right now, customers can save on more than 600 products in-store and online with an average saving of 21%.
Supermarkets have been under intense scrutiny after an inquiry found they were among the most profitable in the world. Dropping prices instead of increasing them is a small step to rebuild
building trust with customers.
This sort of constant, oh, we've got a sale on, it's not really helpful, and I think it's a bit dishonest.
Georgia Holland, 7 News.
A Yarra Valley family is sounding the alarm on the dangerous side effects of using a popular baby formula. We'll have the details next. Also ahead, Donald Trump gifted a palace in the sky from the ruling family of Qatar. And straight after sport, we investigate the medical gummy craze, what works and what to avoid. You're watching 7 News live from our new Collins Street headquarters. We'll bring you a behind-the-scenes look after the break.
Tonight, the Willie Rioli saga continues as the AFL Commission meets in Darwin. Plus, the Swans struggles. Just how do Sydney turn their season around?
Also, Melbourne's latest attempt to salvage the expensive Clayton Oliver contract and the rule that will help the AFL stop another Oscar Allen saga.
It's the agenda setters up next on 7 Mates.
Some of us still not comparing car insurance as premiums rise.
You save on car wash, why not save bucket loads comparing car insurance deals?
It pays to compare.
Simple.
Surely not. Now only $11.49 per kilo for a tender 100% Aussie pork loin roast. Yeah, right, when pigs fly. Oh. Aldi, good different.
Movement that inspires.
When conditions aren't ideal for renewables, Australian natural gas power plants are an important backup when demand is high. That's how it helps keep the country running. Authorised by S. McCulloch, Australian Energy Producers Limited, Canberra.
Is there intelligent life out there? And are they wearing Aldi's 100% merino wool thermal underwear, just $34.99 each? It's special you can buy at Aldi's Snow Gear sale this Saturday. Aldi, good different.
Hey sis, I got your package. I just wanted to say thank you so much. But don't be spending your pocket money on me, alright? Just leave me a message. Miss you.
There's a glass and a half in everyone.
What does it mean to go your own way? It's knowing that being different is always a good thing. Own it in the new 7-seat Isuzu MU-X SUV.
Donald Trump is poised to accept a deluxe jumbo jet as a gift from the ruling family of Qatar during his trip there this week. It's understood he's considering whether to convert the plane, which is so luxurious it's known as a flying palace, into a temporary Air Force One. It would eventually be donated to Mr. Trump's presidential library after he leaves office, meaning he can keep using it as a private citizen. Parents of a 4-month-old Yarra Valley baby say they thought their child was seriously unwell and potentially malnourished after using a plant-based baby formula. Labels on tins of the Australian-made product have now been changed, the company insisting its product is safe.
This baby's intolerance to cow's milk forced his parents to go searching for a solution. They found a coconut-based formula made in Australia.
It looked like it could be the one that bypassed whatever he might be sensitive to.
They've chosen to stay anonymous, but explain things quickly turned.
He just started to go downhill, just quite lethargic, lost all his colour. He wasn't sitting up. He'd look sick. He'd get up. He'd drink. He'd go to sleep and then wake up again in half an hour because he's hungry.
Until this email was sent to customers from Coco2. We discovered that the included scoop holds slightly less powder than usual, encouraging customers to add 50% more powder to a bottle, assuring the formula is 100% safe. Doctors at Melbourne's Royal Children's Hospital suggesting the error in scoop size is the likely cause for their significant weight loss and malnutrition.
Once we got off that formula, he almost improved day one.
If you purchase the product now, like we did, you'll see that the tin has a new feeding guide. It's a sticker covering up the old, incorrect measurements. In a statement, the company told 7 News it's launched a full internal investigation. It remains safe when used as directed, adding a recall was not necessary as the issue related to dosage rather than the actual product. Jennifer Beshwati, 7 News.
Our keenest of viewers may have noticed something different tonight. We're broadcasting from our new studio on Collins Street. Here's a behind-the-scenes look as we embark on an exciting new chapter of TV news.
Farewelling the final pieces of 23 years of television history. Today marks a new era for Channel 7 Melbourne, now broadcasting from the heart of Collins Street. Inside Melbourne Quarter Tower, a state-of-the-art newsroom filled with the same familiar faces.
Mitch, you've been presenting our bulletins out of the old broadcast centre for more than 20 years. How are you feeling today walking into the new set?
It's a funny feeling, Christy, I must say. It's almost like I'm starting my first day at uni out of secondary college because everything's brand new.
It's a new chapter and it's really fun to be a part of.
As with any move, there's plenty of unpacking and a little housekeeping. But behind the scenes where the true magic happens...
Checkmate, thank you. That is working on our end all good, thanks.
Amazing, thank you so much.
Any new things that you need to learn to get it off the ground today?
Almost everything.
2 years of planning for this move is paying off.
I built the last one 24 years ago and this is just game changing. It's all digital.
All the latest technology delivering better viewing for you at home.
They might notice our new set and our beautiful LED screens that have lovely graphics on it.
If you ever pop in to do an interview with us, chances are you'll be doing it in here. This is a multi-purpose studio for live crosses and having a chat with our presenters on air.
For tomorrow, we've still got plenty of sunshine and it's still on the warm side for May.
Christy Mayer, 7 News.
And Beck Maddern's back with sport now. Beck, it's not all straightforward at the Pies.
No, hello again, Mitch. There's now injury worries for 2 more stars. We'll cross live next. Also ahead, a sight for sore eyes at the Blues while a forgotten defender is pushing to return. Max Gawn pours fuel on a trade bombshell that could reunite him with a premiership teammate. An exclusive with the Giants boss leading the charge for a game-changing move, and tensions rise in the NBA playoffs.
Which of these is the odd one out in this conundrum?
If you know the answer, brag about it.
Still got a pass? That wasn't really a positive vibe, that was more of a...
Lee Mack is finding UK's brightest.
I would have relocated somewhere that's nicer than the UK.
What's nicer than this wonderful country they call the United Kingdom?
The Maldives.
She's got a point.
The 1% Club UK, Wednesday 7:30 on 7.
You know Mick Robb, the founder of Old Gold. He bogged his truck in crocodile-infested waters, not far from here.
From here?
With crocs circling, Mick Robb thought quickly. He was very entrepreneurial. Some say he bargained his way to safety.
That didn't happen.
Just telling you how I heard it.
Old Gold. Rich in character.
Ah, the working life. You wake up, you work, you get paid. You wake up, you work, you get paid. Until one day, you wake up to a whole new rhythm and still get paid. Aware Super helps you find your rhythm of retirement. That's super helpful.
Let's be frank. Whether you drive a zippy little number in the city streets like me, something with a bit more grunt for the open road, or maybe just a school run at night Midas, we've got a great value service for you. So, book today. Midas, you can rely on us.
Does your energy feel a little hard to wrangle? With the Alinta Energy app, you can easily manage your energy online. Right, what are we watching? Alinta Energy. That's true power.
From the hills of the Tamar Valley, taste the difference of pure, all-natural goodness. Deliciously thick and creamy yogurt. Real fruit with a serving of cream from Tamar Valley Dairy. The creamery, the better.
This EOFY, get deals that don't blend in. Like 1.9% finance across select variants when you finance with Nissan. All backed by Australia's only 10-year, 300,000-kilometre warranty. Get into your local Nissan dealer today.
You haven't shopped around until you've tried Yui, huh?
Look, car insurance, it's kind of like a barber. You don't keep going to the same guy for years if you're not a happy chappy.
How bad is it?
Well, it's not great.
What do you mean, not great?
As in not good. A change might be nice.
For award-winning customer satisfaction, make the change to Yui. You insured.
This Sport Report brought to you by Yui.
Welcome back. There's fresh concern for two Collingwood stars ahead of Saturday's clash with Adelaide. Xander Maguire has the details. Hi Xander, the Pies skipper was on light duties today.
He was, Beck. He actually trained alongside Tom Mitchell and Ash Johnson in the long-term rehab group before departing the track early. The skipper hurt his shoulder in Collingwood's Thursday night victory over Fremantle, and he's actually still in doubt to face Adelaide, while Jordan De Goey was entirely absent from training today after being managed with knee and groin concerns. Collingwood will now have a bumper medical meeting tomorrow morning to decide availabilities. Dan Houston and Pat Lipinski have been struck down by illness, according to the club. Scott Pendlebury, Brodie Myercheck and Braden Maynard all look set to return from rest. And while Nick Dacos and Jamie Elliott trained fully after scans on pectoral and ab issues, respectively. At Carlton, there's some good news. Mitch McGovern trained after being hospitalised with chest concerns and could play against Sydney this weekend. Nick Newman also moving well and could push for a return in 2025 after being ruled out early in the year with a knee concern. The only blemish, Lockie Cowan, who will miss 2 games with a hamstring, Beck.
OK, thank you so much, Xander Maguire. Giants CEO Dave Matthews is leading the charge to cut the length of games. Quarters are regularly blowing out past 30 minutes and something might have to give.
Known for their big sound, GWS has directed one at the AFL. As games run longer than ever, the Giants want them cut.
I think we've got the best game in the world, the most spectacular. I just think at times, particularly in the Sydney market, you notice that people's attention span or the time they've got to give to a game is probably less than what it might have been.
Since quarters returned to normal post-COVID, game lengths have continued to rise. This year has seen the biggest jump, up more than 2.5 minutes on last year alone. Breaks around stoppages and the prominence of score reviews seeing quarters push 32 minutes on average.
Just containing it a bit more, I'd just shorten the quarters up a bit. Sometimes you get funny feedback from people who come for the first time, thinking that half-time the game's over.
The AFL will announce round 16 to 23 fixtures Thursday, but for next year, Sydney wants its own mini gather round when the NRL leaves town.
When they announce Magic Round, we should announce a really big weekend of footy in Sydney, and maybe you bring a doubleheader or other games out of Melbourne, a couple of big Melbourne clubs.
And Max Gawn has poured fuel on the possibility of premiership teammate Luke Jackson being lured back.
There's so many people who've got to trade back to WA and then come back. Not mentioning one that potentially could be coming back soon. Let's hope.
Mitch Cleary, 7 News.
Well, last night's draw between North Melbourne and the Lions is reigniting the AFL's extra time debate. Seven's Kane Cornes joins me now. Hi, Kane. Good to see you. Chris Fagan's on board. Alistair Clarkson is a big no. Where do you sit on this?
Yeah, I'm a no. I think it's one of those tiresome issues that come up every year. We have 1 or 2 draws per year. It's like the starting time of the grand final. It's like the bounce. It's like those issues that we regurgitate every single year. Just leave it. They had enough time, North Melbourne, to win that game, which they should have. It was a missed opportunity, and I just think playing extra time is a debate that we just do not need to have every year.
OK, fair enough. How much are you reading into Essendon this season and indeed their future?
I'm all in, Beck. I think the future is extremely bright for the Bombers. The way that they've recruited the key personnel who are all young in prominent positions. Nate Caddy, the rising star this week, could be anything. So I don't think it's going to be this year, and there's going to be ups and downs along the way, but I've been really impressed by their start to the year. They've beaten the grand finalists, they've beaten the prelim finalists, and I think the future is looking very, very good. They should be winning a final next year.
All right, you're making a lot of Bombers fans happy tonight. Just a final one for you. Did you like seeing Clayton Oliver as a tagger? He's a very expensive stopper.
The $1 million tagger. I didn't mind it for 1 week to get him back feeling good about his football, but it's not sustainable. I think in terms of his football, it's the biggest list management headache for any club ongoing. You can't have a player on that sort of money being used as a Ryan Crowley type negator. He's got to be an All-Australian. He's got to be a star of the competition with the contract that he is on, and I just think it's a huge headache for Melbourne going forward.
All right, we'll wait and see what they do this week. Thank you very much, Kane. Looking forward to the agenda setters, of course, tonight after the news on 7 Mate. Well, he helped them win the Premier League, but Liverpool fans booed Trent Alexander-Arnold in his Arsenal, and Postecoglou's Tottenham suffered their 20th league loss, 2-0 to Crystal Palace. Manchester United also lost 2-0 to West Ham. It got heated between the Pacers and Cavaliers.
And DeAndre Hunter, but look out, Turner comes to the defense of Maddern.
Oh, Indiana took a 41-point half-time in Game 4 of the conference semis, the equal biggest NBA playoff history. The Pacers led the Cavs 3-1 after the 129-109 victory. The OKC Thunder levelled their series against the Denver Nuggets at 2-2, winning 92-87. Getting very heated in the basketball.
Isn't it?
Oh, it's playoffs time. It's to be
Just
expected.
need to cool it down a bit, please.
Lots on the line, Mitch.
Thank you very much indeed, Beck. Australians are turning to Gummy supplements for everything from healthy skin to a good night's sleep, even weight loss. But do they live up to the hype? 7 News has launched an investigation to sort the fact from the fad.
Posted on social media as a daily dose,
Thought I would show you guys something that I've been taking every single night.
the chewable craze is booming.
We have seen an explosion of these gummy vitamins and minerals on the shelves.
The big question for Australians, do they really work? One of the fastest growing categories in the world is medicinal cannabis gummies for chronic pain, anxiety and insomnia. Studies suggesting taking CBD will provide symptom relief without a so-called high.
And there's very good evidence to show that it might be beneficial in those cases.
A wide range of products are just a click away online. To purchase them legally in Australia, doctors must prescribe the medicinal cannabis products. Vitamin gummies can be purchased from any chemist. On weight loss chewables, there are mixed results.
The government has only checked them for safety and the company has not had to prove that they actually work.
Look out for language like boosts, helps or assists, as there's little evidence to support the claims on the label. Remember, there's no substitute for a healthy diet, but in some cases, supplements can help with vitamin deficiencies. That's when medical advice comes in.
An important thing to consider when you're thinking about taking vitamins is that whether you actually need them or not.
Angelique Opie, 7 News.
Jane's back now with the forecast. And Jane, how's it looking tomorrow?
Well, Mitch, we begin cloudy, but it doesn't last. We have bright sunshine returning. And on tonight's Bright Side, celebrating Victoria's young achievers.
He's got forever on his mind. But is his time running out?
Tell your boyfriend if he opens his mouth, we'll be paying him a visit.
Will he get to propose before it's too late? Home and Away, next on 7.
So, what do you want to be when you grow up?
Oh, when I grow up, I want to be a musician.
What's your band name?
I haven't thought of a name yet. Can you help me figure out?
Cat Litter Box.
Okay, well, first I'm going to buy my dream guitar and I want to turn my garage into a studio.
Whoa. You better have a very good super fund.
I do.
With an award-winning app, know how to grow with Uni Super.
Are you getting the most out of your energy? Switch to Alinta Energy online in minutes and get a helping hand for your household with a great value energy plan. Nice. Pass the butter, please. Alinta Energy. That's true power.
Well, this is a bit precarious. If this was a film, the jacket would probably start to rip at this point.
Yeah, but this is a Macpac.
Oh, Macpac.
Oh, I think someone's coming.
Oh, this is a bit precarious.
That's what I was saying. Yeah,
That's what he was saying.
Hello? Hi, I'm Gemini.
Hi, Gemini.
How can I help you?
So what do I do? Just talk?
We can have a conversation about anything you like.
Okay, I need a bit of help, Gemini.
No problem. You could try using Greek yogurt instead. Does the child seem ready for bedtime?
No.
Could you make this sound more professional?
Sure. Here's another version.
Whoa, that's actually super helpful.
You're welcome. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
Pucker's Herbal Teas dive you into a world where honey mingles with lemon ginger trees, or where lavender dozes off with chamomiles. Pucker, discover a blend of herbal wonder.
Date night romance, muddy fans, weekend plans. The Tiggo 8 has a stylish 7-seat interior with the latest tech from just $38,990 drive away. Go where life takes you. Cherry Tiggo 8.
Want glowing skin? Try Neutrogena Hydro Boost Water Gel, just $18.99 at Chemist Warehouse. It delivers 5 times more hydration and helps support the skin's moisture barrier. Choose weightless hydration for juicy skin. Live, look, feel fabulous at Chemist Warehouse.
At Bunnings, having the widest range means a whole lot more for your home.
It means we have a tool for every job and a nap for every bowl. A Barbie for every backyard.
And a colour for every mood.
All under one roof.
Bunnings Warehouse.
Lowest prices are just the beginning.
Right now at Woolworths, discover great weekly specials across the store, like half price on selected diet and sports products from Masashi, BSC, Muscle Nation, Famous Nutrition and Quest from the Fresh Food People.
Life's always changing. Now your extras can too with HCF's Choose My Extras product. You get to choose 4 extras and swap your unused extras as you need. That's big.
That's huge.
I know. It's good value.
This weather report is brought to you by HCF.
Hello again. Tomorrow afternoon looks just as glorious as today. Today had a bit of high cloud at first, but it quickly cleared out to bright sunshine. The city reached 20 after another cool start. Local fog cleared to sunshine nearly statewide. There's just some cumulus popping up about the eastern ranges and over in the southwest. That doesn't bring any rain, not like we're seeing here in eastern New South Wales, even some storms. It reached the mid-20s in the far north, well above average. Our weather is controlled by a ridge of high pressure. This brings wet weather to the east coast in these onshore winds, but not making it around the corner to us. A front wasn't strong enough to affect us as it passed by today, but the next one arriving on Wednesday will have a slight impact. The high brings another warm for May Day tomorrow. Wednesday's cold front tries to push through, but have a look, it barely makes it past the southwest coast. The high is just too dominant. There won't be much rain in the south with this one and nothing in the north. It does leave us cooler on Thursday and generally dry, but Saturday, that is when our weather really changes. We'll feel a hint of winter in the air, going from well above average to well below. Enjoy the warmer conditions while they last. Next weekend looks rather chilly. Around the nation tomorrow, 25 for Brisbane, light showers around the middle of the day. Lots of showers for Sydney. Light showers in Canberra, while it's mostly sunny in Hobart. Bright sunshine for Adelaide and Perth. To Victoria, areas of foggy low cloud across the south. At first, it may be quite extensive. It doesn't last, with a mild, dry and sunny day to follow. Temperatures rising above average once again. There's just the odd light shower up on the far eastern ranges, nothing like we're seeing further northeast. Closer in, it isn't clear at first. We have this foggy low cloud across the Melbourne area. Watch it quickly clear southwards mid-morning, all clear by late morning. After that, there's nothing but sunshine. After a grey start in the city, it should turn to sunshine mid-morning. The afternoon's even warmer than today. We're 22. To the 8-day outlook, sunshine continues on Wednesday, but it's the last day in this stretch. Cloud builds during the afternoon. We'll have some showers passing through during the evening, but it only adds up to 1 millimetre or 2. That clears out on Thursday morning, but temperatures are reduced. We're down to about 18 to finish the week. The next big change arrives ready for Saturday. Saturday and Sunday, just 15 degrees. So we're a top of 22 for tomorrow, with foggy low cloud clearing to sunshine. Now to tonight's bright side. Victoria's brightest rising stars have been recognised at the 7 News Young Achiever Awards, celebrating outstanding entrepreneurship. More than 400 people gathered at the Pullman on the Park for the gala evening hosted by our own Mike Amor. Drew Patton took out the top prize for his ethical Talwali coffee roasters business, championing premium beans and pioneering biodegradable packaging. Congratulations to all the nominees. If you have a story to share, drop us an email, brightside@7.com.au.
Thank you very much, Jane. And that's the way it is this Monday, the 12th of May. Thanks for your company. For now, from the 7 News team, good night.